Travel's really nice. Let's get you off. Man, most enemies can't get you. But yeah, now we're finding the ocean. It's completely busy. And distracting us. Okay, it's too hard. Messing up the bed. It honestly didn't take too much. To the ocean. And kind of like when I built that bird shack for working on the road, here I built a swamp shack. It's cozy. It's very functional. Nice and good lighting on right now. It's 2 days. In the ocean. Working on the road, here I built a swamp shack. Water connected my house and the ocean. And as much fun as watching a full day of riding like these, I decided to cut it out. All the way to my house. It's nice. I can have a good time on the entire trip on day 56. My ocean shack all the way back to my house. It takes about 5 minutes to go. Day in my house. Yeah, me and Treasure Maps have a pretty interesting path. And I am going to be playing a more hardcore Minecraft attempt. I bet you can guess what happens. Treasure Map. Yeah, sure. It took me a while, but I found it. And it's done. Can you see now why I wanted to go to the ocean? Look at all that great loot. Day 58, I found another sinking ship. Honestly, this is the first one that's most excited about the little bit of jungle. And right as the sun started to set, I found it. The villager town. Day 58. Everything I can put my hands on. This one had a perfect stand. Cats! Unfortunately, my inventory is absolutely bursting. I have to make a trip home before I can come back and get more loot. The villager town. A hardcore Minecraft attempt. I bet you can guess what happens. Treasure map. I don't know how this town. I to meet this treasure map. Yeah, sure. It took a while, but I found it. And it didn't die. Can you see now why I want to go to the ocean? All that great loot. Sinking ship. This time around, and right as the sun started to set, I found it. The villager town. I began by stealing everything I could get my hands on. This one has been insanely hard to come by. Cats! Unfortunately, my inventory is absolutely bursting. I have to make sure before I can come back and get more loot. I was most excited about the little bit of jungle, and right as the sun started to set, I found it. The villager town. I began by stealing everything I could get my hands on. This one had a premium stand. It was insanely hard to come by. Cats! Unfortunately, my inventory is absolutely bursting. I have to make a trip home before I can come back and get more loot. But you know, when I got back home, I felt like fulfilling another dream of mine. I like the treasure map. I wanted to go back to another hardcore mission that I died. And in every place, I tried to zombie in the house. This convenient little containment chamber. It also had a lever where you could drown the zombie if you wanted to. And then I built another one. This time, I think a little bit more difficult. It took all of day 61 to wire it all up. Another sunken ship. Another here. I'm still sticking around. I was most excited about the and the sun started to set. I found it. The villager town. I began by stealing everything I could get my hands on. This one had a premium stand. It was insanely hard to come by. Cats! Unfortunately, my inventory is absolutely bursting. I have to make a trip home before I can come back and get more loot. But you know, when I got back home, I felt like fulfilling another dream of mine. I like the treasure maps. That's another hardcore that I died. And in all places, I was a zombie in my house in this convenient containment chamber. It also had a lever where you could drown the zombie if you wanted to. And I'm building another one. This time, I'm going to try to make it will be a little bit more difficult. It took all the Apparently, I'm not that great with redstone. However, by the end of the day, the containment chamber was complete with auto drown. safer contraption for getting the creeper in. Basically, the pressure plate will get him through the fence, and he can't get back out. I'll wrap him up and then I'll get him in there with a bucket of water. But first, we must fish. And I'll tell you in the morning why. If I want this creeper's contraption for getting the creeper in, basically, the pressure plate will get him through the fence, and he can't get back out. Sanitize him. In there with a bucket of water. First, we must fish. Why? I'll tell you in the morning why. If I want this creeper to stay alive forever, I'm going to need a name tag. And get those from fishing. So I fished on day 64. And I didn't get a name tag. And guess what? In day 65, I'm still fishing. You know, statistically, I'm 66. Yes, he's fishing. He's been singing, which is all a hardcore player wants. I'm not just looking for the name tag. It's all a rare item that you can get like a salmon. I didn't get any of that. So I'm just going back to it. Start off. And getting to know these dolphins. Nice. If you give them realistically on game 66. It should have dropped already, but hasn't. Like a saddle, which is really awesome, but I didn't get any of them. So by nightfall, I gave up. I'm just going back to the ocean. I started off day 69 by getting to know this dolphin. Nice. If you give them fish, they'll take you right to treasure. It's pretty easy. I ended up finding a lot of treasure with this method, and even found a buried treasure map. I was very careful again. I know what happens when you're not. It didn't even take that long. Just a little bit of digging, and I found it. It was packed with loot. Look at that thing. There was no way I was going to sleep on day 69. When the sun came up the next morning, I was already looting another pirate ship. I'm still not done, though. Treasure, saddles, name tags, really anything. Honestly, at the time, I could tell I was easily pushing my luck out here in the middle of the ocean. I should probably go home. You know, as I pulled up to my ocean shack, I kind of realized that this thing needs a little redo. Yeah, definitely not safe. I can't even sleep in my bed at night here. Now it's the morning of day 71, and first things first, we have to make this ocean shack a little safer. I found through this playthrough a gate and wall, pretty much all you need. This simple little shack turned out pretty nice. We can fish into the sunset, and I fished all night again. I'm still looking for that name tag, or a saddle. And even though it took a little longer than I thought, on day 72, I finally hooked that name tag. I waited until night to take my river passage home. Remember, it's about 5 minutes, so I was able to spend most of the night doing this. You know, I haven't really gotten a good look at my treasure chest since I started hitting the ocean and fishing a ton. It's getting pretty full of loot. Anyway, now that I'm back home, you gotta know exactly what the first thing I did was. It doesn't really matter. I was just off at nighttime, where I'm trying to catch a creeper, and I got him with my expert creeper trapping contraption. However, I forgot a crucial step on how the name tag works, and the creeper exploded, so guess I'll have to try again tomorrow. Creepers don't die in sunlight, so in the morning of day 74, I was actually able to try again. I tracked him easily. That wasn't the hard part. I obviously know what I did wrong now. I'm using the name tag totally incorrectly, but I'm amazed I did this 2 days in a row. So here's what I did wrong. In order to activate a name tag, you have to use an anvil. Then you can rename the name tag, which then renames the creature. I'm gonna name this first creeper Elbaton. Took a little longer than expected, but you gotta remember this was a dream of mine. And now it's real. And because I put a name tag on good old Elbaton, he'll stay there forever, never dying. But sometimes, I guess I need another project now. Wonder what I can do. Well, of course there's always that. By this point, I realized I'm level 38, and that can be used for a lot of seriously good enchantments. But you gotta have a lot of different items if you want to make a proper enchanting room. And one of those items is sugarcane. I'm not sure how, but I always forget to make a sugarcane farm until I really need it. I also have 0 sugarcane to my name, so I had to go out boating looking for some. Sugarcane goes to efficiency, so starting off with 30 is really grateful. I'm not done yet. Day 77, I'm still looking for wild sugarcane. While all of that goes, I'm going to work on another part of my enchanting room. I'm going to need some obsidian, and I know a spot where I can find some lava in my old mine. I'm going to do this in the mine enough for not only an enchanting table, but also a portal into the nether. But I had no idea I was going to find some diamonds. Well, I found 1 diamond. Exactly 1 diamond. That's fine. Day 78, I started construction on where my nether portal was going to be. I like it to be in my house and look nice. And by the end of the day, I ran out of my fancy stone, but I think I did a pretty good job anyway. I spent the rest of day 78 psyching myself up to go into the nether. Today's the day. To the nether! Oh no! Not a bad spawn point. At least there isn't any lava around. Step 1, I enclosed the portal in cobblestone. This should help to keep the monsters out. I also got some glowstone, which I can use to make some fancy lights. And that's pretty much it. I got day 80, my sugarcane farm wasn't at maximum capacity, but it was pretty close. But ultimately, I'm going to need some diamonds if I want to make this enchanting table, so it's back to mining. Around the start of day 80, you can check the clock in my inventory, I found an abandoned mine shaft. This is technically a dungeon, which means there'll be loot here, but I'm also going to be insanely careful. The last thing you want to do in one of these places is get trapped by a creeper in one of these small areas. But if you're going to find diamonds, this is the place you should probably look. And I found some. Well, just 1 diamond again. And it was guarded by a creeper. I still picked it up. The deeper I go into these mine shafts, the more nervous I end up getting. But as long as I keep finding diamonds, my hope level's going to be at an all-time high. So that was pretty much the start of day 82. I know I guessed that around that time, but that's what the clock's for. I feel just insanely lucky. You can see here I if I want to make this enchanting table, so it's back to mining. Around the start of day 81, you can check the clock in my inventory, I found an abandoned mine shaft. This is technically a dungeon, which means there'll be loot here, but I'm also going to be insanely careful. The last thing you want to do in one of these places is get trapped by a creeper in one of these small areas. But if you're going to find diamonds, this is the place you should probably look. And I found some, well, just 1 diamond again. And it was guarded by a creeper. I still picked it up. The deeper I go into these mine shafts, the more nervous I end up getting. But as long as I keep finding diamonds, my level's going to be an all-time high. ingredient to an enchanting table room with lots of leather. So, sorry pals, but you're gonna have to kill someone. Listen, with a diamond sword and the correct leverage, there's no pain. And after crawling through that experience, I now have everything I need to make some bookshelves. I put together my enchanting table. It's not perfect yet, but it's getting there. Currently, the only thing I have enchanted is my shovel because the durability on it is poor. I think when my sword and pickaxe run out, I'll enchant those too. I also upgraded my enchanted fishing rod, which really helps a lot with finding rare items. I'm still looking to fish my way to a sack. I put together my enchanting table. It's not perfect yet. It's getting there. Currently, the only thing I have enchanted is my shovel because the durability I need to make some bookshelves. I put together my enchanting table. It's not perfect yet, but it's getting there. Currently, the only thing I have enchanted is my shovel because the durability on it was pretty high. When my sword and pickaxe run out, I'll enchant those too. I also upgraded my enchanted fishing rod, which really helps a lot with finding rare items. I'm still looking to fish my way to a saddle. I don't have a horse yet, and I really want one. And within 2 minutes, I got a name tag, which is fine. I fished all night with this enchanted fishing rod. My hope levels were... Listen, with a diamond sword and the correct leverage, there's no pain. And after crawling through that experience, I now have everything I need to make some bookshelves. One more time. One crucial ingredient to an enchanting table room is lots of leather. So, sorry pals, but I'm gonna have to kill somebody. Listen, with a diamond sword and pretty high. I think when my sword and pickaxe run out, I'll enchant. Here we are, day number 1. I spawned in a forest biome which had both oak and it's getting pretty late, so we'll handle that other thing tomorrow. I got a pretty lame structure.
I don't know which one is right. I think I know which one is right. That's mommy and that's plants. But mom's got
there were a lot more of them than I thought, but I had a lot of bread, so I'll probably be fine. It seemed like they only spawned outside the structure, so I went inside and totally a trap. I took my time, I was extra careful, everything was fine. And the free tea. Tea's always nice. I got a couple of emeralds, some assorted bones, no diamonds or anything, but it was definitely worth my time coming down here. And it's getting pretty late, so we'll handle that other thing tomorrow. I had a pretty lame structure and then just stood there all night. Alright, now it's morning. Time to take on the pillager outpost. Just build! There were a lot more of them than I thought, but I had a lot of bread, so I'll probably be fine. It seemed like they only spawned outside the structure, so I went inside and barricaded myself in. The loot wasn't great, but...
Huh?
Alright guys, 3 minutes on the clock. Are you ready? Yes!
Wait. Jesus came in the front door.
How dare you, man? Jesus is not his real, but he's real, but he's not an art world. That was. Mommy came out the door, front door.
At least he was able to explain to him.
Yeah, you couldn't. You lied.
Come through the back door, man.
Mommy came out the back door. It was not Jesus.
Can't see, Layla. Layla, what are you doing? This is mine.
I just need to. I just.
Splash with new neon colors. Here. It's fire. Fire was I think it's really. I want fire. So we divided with even half. I get the high side. I get
What is... You just survive. Let's start.
Good idea. I'm gonna watch some TV and relax. What's on? Oh, that's really cool. What else is on? Oh, fireworks! I love fireworks. What else? Nice. Fire dance.
Whoa, I'm skiing. Snowball fight. So cool. Okay, let's see next. Somebody buy a popsicle. That is yeah. Really chill. Man, all that television wants me to say yeah. So I'm gonna play cupcake with you. Even though I think about the phone, so I can lose and I can win, but it's a
Ryan, since this was so much fun, in return, could you something? Of course not. Some paper, Ryan. Here I have bell pepper, tomatoes. Oh, wait. Just break the smell in half. Okay, like that. And just put the entire bell pepper there. With this special sauce, spicy yellow, right? It's ready. Let me go and play.
Thank you. They're not spicy.
like it. Monsters spawning on my compound. So day 21, I went into this cave and made sure that every square inch of it was owned by my estate. And you know, I'll always make time for a little bit of farming. The compound's really starting to come together. It's very safe. It's not totally free of monster spawns, but most of them don't come here anymore. And finally, because I could build through the night, I was able to build a pig and cow pen pretty easily. You know, maybe some of you out there could do a little bit more with 21 days, but I'm proud of myself. Now that my home base is more or less secure, I'm working on branching out. I can't stay here forever. I got plans to find the ocean. I want to move in every direction. Explore this entire land. But first, I'm going to expand my house a little bit, so I need the sand to make glass. Day 23 was the first day of house construction. Remember, it's a little easier to go up than out. I have literal mountains of wood, so I had to figure out something to do with it all. I spent all day constructing room after room of this house. It's going to be a tall one. Yep, 7 stories up, and this is only the beginning. Remember, I didn't want to spend too much time on my house. It's not about vanity, but I spent another day on 10 stories of wood, all collected from the trees around my spawn. Isn't it beautiful? So I immediately cranked it up to 32 chunks and set on top of my glorious structure. I didn't really learn anything new. I'm surrounded by mountains and swamp. And honestly, I could stay up here all day, but we should probably move this video along. Day 25, I switched out my birch lights for redstone ones. It's a little bit of a flex, but I think it looks nice. And I'm just as bad at redstone as I am at life. I ran out of cobblestone for my wall, so it's back to mining at night. The clock helps a ton when I'm down here. I can tell that it's just about to be... Oh, those are diamonds! Yes! 5 of them. This is good. I made a sword and a pickaxe. I think most of us probably would. So day 26, with iron armor, a diamond sword, and most importantly, a compass, I set out for more adventure. It was getting pretty late, and I ventured out pretty far, so it looks like I'm hunkering down for the night. I couldn't sleep, so I just sat in the house and waited until morning while I ate food in real life. I went a little past sunrise, probably had a poo or something. On the road again. I think most of us probably would. So day 26, with iron armor, a diamond sword, and most importantly, a compass, I set out for more adventure. It was getting pretty late, and I ventured out pretty far, so it looks like I'm hunkering down for the night. I couldn't sleep, so I just sat in the house and waited until morning while I ate food in real life. I went a little past sunrise, probably had to poo or something. On the road again, mostly just looking for villager towns. I really like those things. I didn't end up finding a town, but I found a desert ruin and some sort of outpost. I've heard of desert ruins before, so I decided to go with this one first. There was a creeper inside, but honestly, that's pretty standard. I actually lost about 35 days of work when I died to a creeper inside a jungle ruin. To my credit, it did lag a little bit, and I had my shield up, still died. Anyway, back to the ruin. I can see the chest, but I know it's totally a trap. I took my time, I was extra careful, everything was fine. Hey, a little free TNT's always nice. I got a couple emeralds, some assorted bones, no diamonds or anything, but it was definitely worth my time coming down here. And it's getting pretty late, so we'll handle that other thing tomorrow. I made a pretty lame structure and then just stood there all night. Alright, now it's morning. And it did lag a little bit, and I had my shield up, still died. Anyway, back to the ruin. I can see the chest, but I know it's totally a trap. I took time, I was extra careful, everything was fine. Hey, a little free TNT's always nice. I got a couple emeralds, some assorted bones, no diamonds or anything, but it was definitely worth my time coming down here. And it's getting pretty late, so we'll handle that other thing tomorrow. I made a pretty lame structure and then just stood there all night. Alright, now it's morning. Time to take on the pillager outpost. LOL, just build! There were a lot more of them than I thought, but I have a lot of bread, so I'll probably be fine. It seems like they only spawned outside of the structure, so I went inside and barricaded my time coming down here. And it's getting pretty late, so we'll handle that other thing tomorrow. I made a pretty lame structure and then just stood there all night. Alright, now it's morning. Time to take on the pillager outpost. LOL, just build! There were a lot more of them than I thought, but I have a lot of bread, so I'll probably be fine. It seemed like they only spawned outside of the structure, so I went inside and barricaded myself in. LOL, just build! All night. Alright, now it's morning. Time to take on the pillager outpost. LOL, just build! There were a lot more of them than I thought, but I have a lot of bread, so I'll probably be fine. It seemed like they only spawned outside of the structure, so I went inside and barricaded myself in. The loot wasn't great, but I like carrots, so that got me a little excited. Oh wow, this got very out of hand very quickly. Most of them died because they shot each other in the back. It was very sad. I ran away, but with sweet victory. And my belly full of loot, I ran through the night to my home. I made it back fine. I could see my house from a mile away. I only had 8 carrots, but using the bone meal I got from the desert ruin, I was able to get those rookie numbers up quick. After farming, I spent most of the day fishing. There's a couple rare items you can get from fishing, and it's easier than going through dungeons. At night, I decided to upgrade my house, at least the first level. Putting different layers of wood is one simple thing you can do to make a house look pretty homey. One day, I think all the rooms will look this nice, but obviously, as you can tell, I came back to cheap. I guess I did whatever. For all of these, I never could find chicken Two llamas are just as good. I found an old-fashioned way. Cut all of that out. Okay, see you stuck now. Try to wait and harvest my crops until they're all fully grown. I'm so excited with those carrots. We start moving all of the animals, except the llama. But I want more of those. It's kind of rainy on day 32. So I decided to do the basement. I spent all of day 32 just making the basement look nice. I can get rid of the job. I really wanted to get this underway. Not just my channel used for Minecraft. That's what's pretty much it for day 33. At day 34, I did a little more exploring and found a nice little meadow with a ton of flowers. I also found some roving pillagers, but with a little bit of building, it's pretty easy to take them down. And getting rid of the bad omen trade isn't a problem anymore. I've got access to unlimited white stuff. You know, going up to the 10th floor every night to sleep never got annoying. Day 35, I started on a bridge that would connect my land to a nearby shore. It took a little bit longer than I expected, but I wanted to make the part around my land a little nicer. After building the wall, I gotta do something with all this cobblestone. And everything you're seeing on screen now is a full day's work in Minecraft. Kind of underwhelming. And by the end of day 36, the bridge was completely done, complete with safety rails and torches. Day 37, I decided I was going to extend this granite road further into this mountain. However, the mountain was far chunkier than I could ever imagine. So if it's alright with all of you, I'll just skip the next 15 minutes of me mining. Took about half a day's late. It was completely done, complete with safety rails and torches. Day 37, I decided I was going to extend this granite road further into this mountain. However, the mountain was far chunkier than I could ever imagine. So if it's alright with all of you, I'll just skip the next 15 minutes of me mining. Took about half a day's labor in day 38 to break through the other side, but it felt good when I did. I spent the rest of the day making it look pretty until it got dark. Then I got scared. There's a massive birch forest on the other side. This is going to be a pretty cool road. Originally, I went with this stair design, but eventually I do scrap that and go straight across. And at the end of day 39, I was kind of wondering what I got myself into here. You gotta understand, I'm on day 40. This is the longest I've lived in a hardcore yet, at least when recording this series. In almost all of my deaths, I get bored, try something risky, and die, so I really want to avoid that here. And keeping myself busy with a massive road project seemed like a good idea at the time. Well, I always make time to go back and check on my cows. Day 41, I built a simple birch home on the other side of my tunnel. It's a little pit stop. If it gets dark and I'm on the road, I can just sleep here. I have some big plans for this road. I want it to carve through this forest. It's going to be beautiful. One of the problems I immediately started running into is there is a lot of trees in this forest. Just wait. It's going to take a few days of hard labor, and then it'll look great. Can't wait to get up and do the same thing tomorrow. Honestly, I've been living this lumberjack lifestyle for a while now. Clearing trees is no problem, and it actually works out. They'll supply most of the material for this road. Day 44 was pretty much just more of the same. Constructing the road, clearing out birch trees. That's pretty much it. But by day 45, it was really starting to come together. This thing is looking pretty nice. This is very dangerous. I should not be doing it. You know, if I didn't have this birch shack, I probably would have died a couple days ago from staying out too late. And by day 46, the bridge was complete. No safety features, but complete. That's what I did on day 47. Made it look a little bit nicer, and also put up some fences to keep the mobs out. Day 48, I started building my house on the other side of the bridge. This will be a nice place to come to if I ever get bored of my main compound. But as you can see, even after a whole day of construction, it's not done yet. Yep, still out here day 49 until nighttime putting on the roof. But this was the last step. It's nothing special. But it is a little bit more property for me, and I'm proud that I have it here. We're back in the main camp for day 50, just tending to my crops. Gotta keep those carrot numbers up. I also did a little bit of work on extending my farm. It can never be too big. Food isn't really an issue anymore, but if I ever find a villager town, I need to have a lot of farmland to trade with them. I just worked on it all night peacefully. One of the nice perks of walls. I wasn't recording for the first day 51, but I don't want to confuse you all, so I'm just going to show you this day 51. I wanted to find the ocean, and I found a big river that was just through this mountain. So all of the real day 51 I was carving through. Boat travel's really nice, because it doesn't take up food, and most enemies can't get you if you're in a boat. So yeah, now we're finding the ocean. Something else to keep me busy, and not dead. I obviously get distracted easily, because day 52 we're already working on icing out the bedroom. That honestly didn't take too long, so I had time to follow quickly to the ocean. And kind of like when I built that birch shack for working on the road, I built a swamp shack. I would describe it as cozy. It's very functional. I ended up mining them. Now it's been 3 days and I still haven't found the ocean, so I went up a mountain to try to get a better view of the land. I didn't really get much, but it kind of looked like this river might be a good bet if I could connect to it. This is probably the most dangerous thing I've done so far. It was a long night of canal construction, but an uneventful one. By the time I got back to the swamp shack, it was basically morning. But I was right back at it in day 54. This is probably the largest part of man-made river I ever dig. Finally, there it is! I can see it! The ocean! one stretch of water connecting my house and the ocean. And as much fun as watching a full day of mining might be, I decided to cut it out, and I'll just show you the completed canal. There's still a couple rough spots, but it's one complete stretch of water all the way to my house. It's nice. I was able to time out the entire trip on day 56, and from my ocean shack all the way back to my house, it only takes about 5 minutes of normal time, or about half a day in Minecraft. But now on day 57, it's finally time to go out into the ocean. Great loot in the ocean. Ruins, sunken ships like I have here, tons of stuff. I mean, just to show you right here, in this sunken chest, I found a diamond! Treasure map and potatoes. Awesome. Yeah, me and treasure maps have a pretty interesting past. Here I am. Check, it was basically morning, but I was right back at it in day 54. This is probably the largest part of man-made river I had to make. And finally, there it is! I can see it! The ocean! It was nighttime though, so I had to be quick. Cobblestone shack. The canal's not totally complete yet though. I'm trying to get one stretch of water connecting my house and the ocean. And as much fun as watching a full day of mining might be, I decided to cut it out, and I'll just show you the completed canal. There's still a couple rough spots, but it's one complete stretch of water all the way to my house. It's nice. I was able to time out the entire trip on day 56, and from my ocean shack all the way back to my house, it only takes about 5 minutes of normal time, or about half a day in Minecraft. But now on day 57, it's finally time to go out into the ocean. There's great loot in the ocean. Ruins, sunken ships like I have here, tons of stuff. I mean, just to show you right here, in this sunken chest, I found a diamond! I also found a treasure map and potatoes, which is awesome. Yeah, me and treasure maps have a pretty interesting past. Here I am, day 25 of another hardcore Minecraft attempt. I bet you can guess what happens. Yep, I was going for a treasure map. And drowned. I was way more careful this time. It meant... But now on day 57, it's finally time to go out into the ocean. There's great loot in the ocean. Ruins, sunken ships like I have here, tons of stuff. I mean, just to show you right here, in this sunken chest, I found a diamond! I also found a treasure map and potatoes, which is awesome. Yeah, me and treasure maps have a pretty interesting past. Here I am, day 25 of another hardcore Minecraft attempt. I bet you can guess what happens. Yep, I was going for a treasure map. And drowned. I was way more careful this time. It meant a lot to me to get this treasure map. Yeah, sure, it took a while, but I found it and didn't die. Can you see now why I wanted to go to the ocean? Look at all that great loot. Day 58, I found another sunken ship. I'm on a roll here. Honestly, this time around, I was most excited about the little bit of jungle wood. And right as the sun started to set, I found it. The villager town. Day 59, I began by stealing everything I could get my hands on. This one had a brewing stand. Those are insanely hard to come by. Ah, they have cats! Cats! Unfortunately, my inventory's absolutely bursting. I have to make a trip home before I can come back here and get more loot. But you know, when I got back home, I felt like fulfilling another dream of mine. Kinda like the treasure map, this is gonna go back to another hardcore playthrough that I died on. In an old playthrough, I trapped a zombie under my house in this convenient little containment chamber. It also had a lever where you could drown the zombie if you wanted to. And I built another one, but this time I want to trap a creeper, so it'll be a little bit more difficult. It took all of day 61 to wire it all up. I said earlier, I'm not that great with redstone. However, by the end of the day, the containment chamber was done, complete with auto drown mode. Day 62, I waited and come back and get more loot. But you know, when I got back home, I felt like fulfilling another dream of mine. Kinda like the treasure map, this is gonna go back to another hardcore playthrough that I died on. In an old playthrough, I trapped a zombie under my house in this convenient little containment chamber. It also had a lever where you could drown the zombie if you wanted to. And I'm building another one, but this time I want to trap a creeper, so it'll be a little bit more difficult. It took all of day 61 to wire it all up. I said earlier, I'm not that great with redstone. However, by the end of the day, the containment chamber was done, complete with auto drown mode. Day 62, I waited until night to test out my containment chamber with this zombie. They're pretty easy to catch, though I quickly realized that if I try to do this with a creeper, I'll probably end up dead. I went with a safer contraption for getting the creeper in there. Basically, the pressure plate will get him through the fence, and then he can't get back out. I'll walk over this tile, which the creeper can't, obviously, and then I'll get him in there with a bucket of water. But first, we must fish, and for a while, and I'll tell you in the morning why. If I want this creeper to stay alive forever, I'm gonna need a name tag, and you get those from fishing. So I fished for all of day 64, and didn't get a name tag. And guess what? In day 65, we're still fishing. You know, statistically on day
Yes.
36, it should have dropped already, but hasn't. Yes, I can spend 3 days fishing. It's peaceful and safe, which is all a hardcore player wants. I'm not just looking for the name tag. There's a couple other rare items that you can get, like a saddle, which will give me horses.